Okay, so this video is for Dave Z 5941. He said I needed to get these molds filled and get to fishing. So he's itching to see some fishing. So we're working on it. So what we're going to do is I kind of made a spot. I hope you can overlook the fan noise. It's hot out here. So I'll probably have that fan on low just so I don't melt my beautiful self. So what we got is some heat stabilizer from Baked Plastics. I got a thermometer, which we'll talk some about that, Pyrex dish, and a stirrer for $1. Kind of throwed all this together because we're going to try to get some of these molds that we reviewed filled, and they're cold. They're just sitting out here, no special heat up on them or anything. My wife found a bag full of plastic baits at a yard sale for $2. This is a Ziploc bag full. We're going to melt this down and see what all we can inject out of it. We're going to try this Jacob's Molds injector that I repaired. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we're going to give it a shot and see how it comes out. Be great if it works. But I think it'll be big enough for any of the molds that we got here. So what else? I got to get this filled with some water. Hopefully that'll hold water. I think it will. We will find out. If not, I'll get something else, put some water in. So the molds that we're going to see about filling, and I bought a bunch of $1.24 plastic baits from Walmart. We're going to use that. So before I get into the Baked Plastics 242, I think it is, Ultra Clear, or 243, whatever it is, I want to practice with just old cheap stuff because I don't really know what I'm doing. And so I'm trying to learn this, and I want to learn on just old used doing remelt. One of them is a 4.5 inch frog. I believe we did a review on this. And then this one is the tiny toad sticker. Did one on that. And then this is a 3.5 inch swim bait. And that's what it looks like. So we're going to see about trying to get these fixed up. Get me a clamp together. Get this bench kind of worked out. And we're going to get you up here on a different tripod and try to give you a bird's eye view. And we'll kind of go from there. So we'll be right back. Okay, so smells like Novocaine. Yeah, I know. I should be smelling stuff, especially with bad lungs. So anyway, this is Baked Plastics PA100 pint size heat stabilizer. I'm sure there's a, this is how much should go in there. I don't know. Usually I think manufacturers tell you the amount you should put in there based on how much revenue they need. But so I haven't looked. I'm just going to put some in there. Probably about a tablespoon's worth, I would guesstimate. No real measurement. So what we're going to do is, and I'll bring you back when it's liquidy or getting liquid and starting to get to that point, but I'm going to hit it in 30-second increments because I don't know how fast this microwave is going to work, and I don't know how hot it's going to get it, how fast. So if you just put this in there and run it for a minute and a half, 2 minutes, you're going to burn it, no matter what you've done to it. But if you put it in there and run it for a few minutes at a time, you'll figure out where you're going to get. And over time, you'll learn your microwave, and you'll know how long you put it in there before you get it melted. And then, hit it 30 seconds at a time after that to get it up to temperature. Remelt, I'm told 300, 310 is pretty good. And when you're stirring, you want to get in there and stir it up, get it all mixed up from bottom to top, and then take a temperature reading. If you don't, then you could end up getting a surface temperature, and it's hotter down here or most likely colder down here, and it won't cast right. And that's more prevalent, I believe, with the new stuff versus remelt. But that's some of the stuff that we've been into. So we're going to start out with 30 seconds. So let's get this going. And it would really be bad if this microwave didn't work. We'll be right back. Okay, so after 3 30-second time frames, you can see it's starting to do something. It's nowhere near ready, but I just wanted to kind of show you that consistency, just to let you know how it's going as you're heating this up. So let's set it in for a third 30-second run for 2 minutes, or a total of 2 minutes, 30 seconds at a time. All right, we're going to give it a shot. This is after 2.5 minutes, 30 seconds at a time. And you can see it's very liquidy, kind of a gray look. My thermometer, apparently I grabbed one that must be for people or something, because it just says too high, too high. So I can't get a true temperature, but it is very liquidy. So we're going to take this and give it a shot. Draw that up high as we can get it. Now, I don't think that one's going to do anything, because I think I was out. That's the 4.5-inch frog. So we may have to redo that one and see what we can get. So this stuff is very, very toasty. Set that down for now. And so I really don't know how long to let it set. This right here is kind of going in. I don't think it's going to really make that big of a difference, to be honest with you. I think as long as the remelt is not, the stuff is not getting sucking down into the cavity, I would think it would be just fine. But we're going to find out. So let me grab some gloves. I don't know how hot this will be. Let me try and knock everything over here, grabbing a pair of gloves I should have already had. Dang, I didn't manage to knock everything over. That is so unlike me. But I did manage to seriously heat these gloves up at one point or another. Fat fingers. So let's see what kind of plug we ended up with. So I don't know. I don't think that's a bad deal. Y'all tell me. Y'all gonna know way more than I do. So let's get this all put back together. So I know now that this injector will fill up these two right here on a good solid run. But I didn't have enough for the frog, so this is going to be partial. It's not going to be a good gas. These two I don't expect them to be either, but hey, it's the first time, the very, very first time I've ever done this. Dave, I'm filming this for you. So I'm going to come back once I give this a little bit, go and let it kind of cool, I guess. Hopefully where I figure I can open it and it won't still be liquid. I don't think it is going to be liquid, but I don't want to mess the casts up yet or tear them or anything because they haven't actually started to set just yet. I do have some water sitting here that I'll toss them in once we get together and open this up and to finish curing, but I'm not going to toss them in that water if they're bad. If they're bad, like I think they're going to be, I'm tossing them back in here. We'll reheat. Don't want to toss them in the water again for like we talked about earlier, and then put them back in here to reheat again and have everything go everywhere. And the reason, if you're wondering why this right here will heat up to that high temperature, but water or some things won't, it's because of the flash point. The point that water flashes and becomes steam is 200 degrees, 210, 212. It's boiling, and you got steam. As soon as you got steam coming up off of water, that's the water flashing off and becoming vapor. And so this don't do that. And so this just gets hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter until it finally burns or catches to the actual flame flash point and catches on fire. And so that's why you have to watch, because you can burn this. You can get it as hot as you want to set it in that microwave and keep running it. So we'll be right back in just a minute. All right, interesting. I pulled the plugs out, and this one tore and didn't come all the way out. And I'm learning, so this is probably not a smart thing to do. I get it. But I pulled this one out, and it pulled loose right there at each one of the joints. So I thought that was kind of cool. Let's go ahead and get in here and take a look. Well, let's just loosen it up first. Let's open up the one we know is bad. Oh, come on. You're kidding me. Wow. I really did not think this one was going to come out. I thought this one was going to be bad. So it does have some little air holes there. I expected holes, like the air and whatnot. But I'm keeping that. Man, that's an ugly old green, funky whatever, but that's going. That's going. We'll take a closer look at these inside under the main whatever. So that kind of tells you, because this was sunk way down in here. So I'm right when I figure you can top this off, that's fine. But if you have the smaller molds don't suck as much. And so the bigger molds is going to pull and draw and everything back up in here. If it draws it all the way back to this point, then you're going to have issues, or you could have issues with dents or stuff in your mold. So topping it off is good, but you ain't got to overflow it. As long as you got it up in here and it ain't pulled down into this channel, I think you're good, even on the bigger ones. So that vape mold is down. Let's check this one out. And I don't remember what this one is. This is the tiny toe sticker. You know what, guys? If I can do this, anybody can do this. I'm telling you, this is the absolute. I didn't practice this. I get it. I understand. Okay, I get it. I know that these ain't perfect, but they perfect for me, being my first time. So I believe these are pretty doggone good. I may wind up putting me some color in here, or maybe some glitter or something to improve that. Maybe putting some white in with that, because I have some white that I had bought from Walmart. Those cheap $1.24 a piece. But that was cool. All of these, I'm excited now. I really am. Dave, thank you. Continue to push me. Don't back off, dude. Here we go. Fully filled out. That is full. Oh, yeah. I like that. That's good. Come on. I did not expect that. I really didn't. I just knew that I was not going to succeed with anything on that first cast. And so now I'm really kind of hyped up to hit it again with something. And I'm feeling kind of confident in grabbing the old For Sure Enough baked plastic and seeing what we got going on there. Now tell me, guys, because you know I learned from you. I'm just doing this, and then y'all tell me what I've done right or wrong, and we're gonna get together and learn, and that's all cool. So let's see what I got in the bag of tricks over there. Let's see what I can do to change the color on this. So I got some of these. Cream is the cheapest thing that they've got. And so I think I want to try to do something with that. But I definitely want to lighten that up. And I got blue, I got pumpkin, I got some gray stuff going on, some watermelons. But I don't really want to use those. I want to get that mix there lighter. And I don't know how much it's going to take, but I do have some dye. I believe I have some ultra white or something. It's from Lure. I'm sorry, I'm looking in the wrong direction. I don't know if you can hear me. I do have some dye. Let's see. Ultra white from Lure. So we're going to put some of this in there. And what's cool is Lure knows that us newbies are stupid and don't have a clue what we're doing. So when you order dye or pigment from Lureworks, they send these little things with you because they know you're not going to order them and they know you're going to need them. So I don't know if this needs to be shaken up or not, but we're going to do it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 of these in there and keep these 3 for future reference. Now I'm excited to get out here with some more molds and see what we can see. I'll save these bags probably to put these baits in. Just to have, I'd really love to have one of these that's got the hook slot in it. I don't think I have one. But I may, see, I'd wanted to cast some pure white ones and just be like a pearl white and have some, maybe some monkey's milk because I have some of that. Or possibly some kind of flake or something to kind of set it off. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and just get this liquid and then I'll come back when we start putting some pigment in it. All right, so I'm going to try to zoom in so you can see that kind of pearl look. And it's got some flake in from the other stuff. And that is from those baits. So let's cut the top on this in true redneck fashion. And I'm going to put 7 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. And let's see how big of a difference that actually makes. Yeah, I think that made a big difference. Let's just put 7 more and we're going to heat it up again. Oops, that's probably about 8 more. A little more than I planned, but a little more than planned, but that's okay. It's starting to set back up again, get kind of solid. So get that kind of stirred in. So we're going to give it 30 more seconds. Okay, I love this microwave because it's super quiet. You really can't hear anything going on. So I think that's going to be good when it comes out. If it is good enough, we'll finish mixing it up and we'll go ahead and shoot this and see what we've got. And I may go grab some more molds because I want to try probably a bunch of different things. And we'll kind of go from there. Fixing to hit 30 seconds. Let's see. Now, I'm not worried about bubbles and all that kind of stuff. I really don't care, to be honest with you. Because this is all experimental. We're learning. We're just making some practice baits and trying to get something together. You know, I think that's probably good enough. What you think, Dave? Let's give it a shot. So... Okay, I think I did a little better that time as far as the injection, because instead of topping off the fruit sprues right off, I finished the run and then took and topped off the sprues. I don't really see them sinking in, so I think they're going to be okay. Let's and that's not really hot. I mean, I could hold it for a long time, but I got grizzled up hands from years of doing stupid things. Which, I mean, if you've seen one of my soldering videos, you understand what I'm talking about. And so it's pretty much about the same plug each time. So that's cool. The bulk of this injector is getting used. And I don't have to do anything extra to this because using it is making it easier to open and close. So that injector is just fine. Let me grab the one that I'm currently building out here just to give you a little look at it. So going by what I'm getting with this one, if this gives you any idea, this one is bigger around by at least a ½ inch and longer by a good 6 inches. So this is a behemoth. We're working on getting it. It doesn't open and close very easy. I got to do some more work on that. So that's sucked in a little. And that still feels a little punky on top. And so that's kind of what I'm going by as to when I should, demold these, is how that plug is feeling on top. Now I know inside that's going to be a little different. It's going to, it's going to be more fragile, or however you want to look at it. Cleanup is a breeze with this stuff because it just peels right straight off of the dish. It is literally no biggie at all. Peels right off the little spatula. Now these are the bomb here. These little things, if you can find these little cake icing spreaders or whatever, these little spatulas here, which I found some, but they're all crooked. You can't find these straight ones. So I've been looking at yard sales every time we go yard selling to see if I can find, you know, some. I found some butter knives that don't have ridges on them. And the reason why you don't want the ridges because it introduces bubbles. But I bought 3 of the cheapest ones that Walmart had, and those I ground the ridges off of them, so they don't have. There's no issue there as far as that's concerned. So you can look at the timestamp, kind of get an idea as to how long, you know, it's been on these. We'll set those 2 off over there. Since this open. And so I think that come out really good. I really look forward to take and look. So we got some denting. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and get these pulled loose. I don't know if I'm going to cast any more tonight. But I'm going to leave these molds out here. And maybe I will. Maybe I'll grab a couple other molds. So I really want to get something that I've reviewed so far that's kind of really wild looking. And so far, everything is filling out beautiful. There's literally 0 issues with these molds. I love these molds. And the second frog, a little air pocket, but I mean, you can expect air pocket. So, you know what made my mind? I'll be right back. We're going to melt this down one more time, and we're going to do one run on, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Probably just 2 molds. I'll be right back. Okay, so we got some more ready. Okay, so you saw me cast these. You kind of see a little difference here, but I'm not going to show them to you. We're going to look at them inside. When we come back, we're going to take a look at all of these at the desk. Be right back. Okay, so here's the results. And we'll try to zoom in on these. But if I can do this good the very first time I've ever done any of this bait injection, and with these molds and homemade made up stuff, or semi homemade, actually it was half and half, but still in all, if I could do this good, then, and I consider this to be really good. There's imperfections. We'll go over them and look at them. But if I could do this good, then imagine what you could do with even cheap, high-end, or cheap, regular stuff. So these are the first ones that I made. First off, let's just start with this shad swimmer. So this right here is designed like this. That's how it comes out of the mold. And you can see the belly profile. And of course, the tail being this way, it's going to have no choice but to flip and fiddle around in the water. Okay. These, I believe, came out perfect. There's a slight dent right there. and that's really it. I mean, other than that, there's no other issues with that bait. And then here is the gray version, and this was after I put some white shads that I bought for like $1.23 at Walmart, the cream brand, and mixed in with this, which was a conglomeration of everything. In all honesty, it was a little bit of everything. And that's kind of it's not black. It may seem to be black, but it's more of a green, a dark green. You can tell a little bit of it in the tail. But anyway, it's got a green tint to it. And then that white mixed in turned it gray. And I put 14 drops or 15 drops of ultra white from Lure Works into the mix. And I ended up with this pretty cool pearlescent gray. And then this right here is the toad sticker. And this right here is the same difference. Oh, well, now the imperfections, okay, that's just a discolor. That's darker bait material in with it. And it looks like the center is actually a dark bait. But there's a dent here in the tail on both sides. And other than that, that is basically a cold mold, because they had cooled down by the time I had cast these. This is the first one I cast, and you can see it's completely filled out. And then, well, I don't know. I don't think that would be a cold mold, because this was the first time I ever cast it. This is the second time I cast it, but I don't know. Maybe I got the plastic at the wrong temperature because my temperature gun wouldn't work correctly. So I wasn't able to correctly figure out what the temperature was. And so this was the first this was the first toad sticker. This is I don't know why it's called a toad sticker, because it's basically a crawl, or in my opinion, a creature crawl. But it's perfect. There's no dents in it anywhere. Everything's great. And it seems like, for the most part, that first cast with that initial one was perfect. And then you see this one, and there is, I mean, literally no dents in this. The only thing is there's an air bubble there and an air bubble right there. Beyond that, that's a perfect cast right there. And the air bubbles, of course, they're going to be there because this material had water in it. It was used. It was nothing new, except for with these, where I put some of the white material in there. And I wasn't trying to keep bubbles out. I was stirring it, doing just whatever, no big deal. But this one was the larger cast, and it's got pretty thick legs on it. There's no dents on those. Everything filled out perfectly. There's an air bubble there. A few air bubbles through here. And then you've got an air bubble there and a couple over here. And I can feel what feels like a subsurface air bubble in the side there. And so that's just not getting the air out. Beyond that, it was a great plastic cast. And this was the second one with the mold. And again, let's see, the bottom is perfect. No dents, no nothing. The top has no dents, but it has an air bubble right there. And so comparing the two, you can see that this one's kind of pushed in because of that big air bubble in here. If you'll remember, I ran out of plastic on this one, and it still filled out, but I did run out of plastic pushing this one. And I kind of knew what I was doing a little better with this one, and so this one's completely filled out. There's no air bubbles inside of it, no air bubbles on the surface. And all of this is just getting used to the mold and how it casts and how you need to press it and hold it and everything. But if I'd have gotten the air bubbles out, these would have been almost perfect, except for this one that had some dents on top and bottom. But other than that, these would have all been absolutely perfect. And I think that's pretty cool for a very first time ever casting at all. And here's a couple more. And it's a couple more of exactly the same thing with these shad swimmers. And it seems like, and I'd bet you this was the first one. It's completely filled in. But then the second one, the top is filled in fine, but there's a dent on the bottom. And that is like this one. So you can see that there was varying degrees of shrinkage on these. Now, for the surprise one. Now, on these, you'll remember that I did a review on these molds. So here they are. I think this was one of the first molds that I reviewed right here was these little tiny swim baits. And the only difference from one to the other was a larger belly. You see air pockets, but these little tails, all of that stuff filled out perfect. No issues. These large swimmers, these rib swimmers, they filled out perfect as far as from the aspect of filling the mold. This one has a small dent right in there. That's the only issue with it. You hardly can notice it, but there's tons of air bubbles. You can see these, and when I stretch them, you can see the air bubbles that formed when these were cast. And that was due to not getting the air out, because I don't have a vacuum chamber set up yet. And so all I did was initially I did a bunch of baits, all dark reds, others just a conglomeration, and got this deep green color. Then I mixed some white cream brand shads in and got this gray color, a pearl gray. And then I mixed 15 drops of ultra white as well and got this pearl gray. And then I added 15 drops of, what was it? It was cherry red. And all of this is both of these, the ultra white and the cherry red, are both Lureworks dyes. Now this is a bleeding dye, the red, but this just basically come out to like a light pearl burgundy type color. Now these colors are probably, I don't know, they're probably useless as far as fishing, but we're going to fish them tomorrow as long as it's not a whole lot, bad weather or something like that. But if at all possible, good Lord willing, we're going to fish these tomorrow. So, Dave, it's for you, buddy. It's for you. And hopefully we can catch something. I'll probably put jig heads on these right here. Maybe even I got some spinner style jig heads that I'll probably put on these right here and just cast them as is. And then these, I don't know. I'm not sure what I'll put on them, but I'll find some hooks and stuff and all that kind of great stuff. And that's what we'll wind up doing. I didn't put any worm oil on this. I need to, but still in all, I think they turned out great. I think we had a awesome end result, being a very first time ever, casting. Get that out the way. First time ever casting soft plastic baits ever at all. And, my first time ever doing anything, and first time using these tools. And again, the injector was a, I said the brand earlier. I'll make sure it's in the video. I don't remember what the brand was, but I had to make the cap for it, and it worked great. So my other injectors, the only thing I have to worry about, I believe, because I don't see why they wouldn't work just as good. But the only thing I have to worry about with them is going to be the O-rings, if they can take the heat. So this is what we got, and this video will probably post tomorrow, and then tomorrow I'll film fishing this stuff, and we'll post that, probably come out Monday. So I appreciate you guys. I do enjoy spending time with you, and I look forward to seeing you again. And Dave, this one's for you. Your time is very important to me, and I thank you for spending it here with me. Thanks, and God bless.